Diocletian, the 54th Roman emperor, reigned from 284 to 305 CE and is widely regarded as one of the most important figures in Roman history due to his profound influence on the empire's structure and stability. His reign marked a dramatic shift in the empire's approach to governance, military organization, and imperial authority. He is best known for his reform of the Roman Empire, his efforts to preserve its unity amid growing internal and external challenges, and for his persecution of Christians. His legacy is complex, as he was both a powerful stabilizer of the empire and a ruler whose measures were seen as harsh by many. Diocletian was born as Diocles around 244 CE in the province of Dalmatia, modern-day Croatia. His family was of low status, likely of peasant origins, and little is known about his early life. Diocletian's rise to power began in the military, where he rapidly advanced due to his discipline, intelligence, and leadership skills. By the time he became emperor, Diocletian had already established a reputation as a competent and trustworthy officer, serving in the Roman army under emperors such as Carus. In 284 CE, following the death of Emperor Carus, Diocletian was proclaimed emperor by his troops while he was stationed in the east. Carus's death had left the empire without a clear successor, leading to a brief period of instability. Diocletian's military background and strategic acumen allowed him to defeat rivals and consolidate power quickly, marking the beginning of a new era in Roman governance. One of Diocletian's most significant contributions to the empire was his administrative and military reforms. The Roman Empire during the 3rd century was beset by constant internal strife, military crises, and external threats. The empire's vast size, coupled with economic difficulties and the growing power of local generals, led to near collapse. Diocletian sought to restore order by reorganizing the empire into a more manageable structure. In 293 CE, Diocletian instituted the Tetrarchy, a system of government in which power was shared between 4 emperors. This system consisted of 2 senior emperors, known as Augusti, and 2 junior emperors, known as Caesars. Diocletian took the title of Augustus of the East and appointed Maximian, his trusted colleague, as Augustus of the West. To assist them, they each appointed a Caesar. Diocletian made Galerius his Caesar in the east, while Maximian appointed Constantius Chlorus in the west. This division of power was intended to address the vast challenges facing the empire by ensuring more localized control and faster decision-making. The Tetrarchy helped stabilize the empire by allowing for more effective military response to threats, as the presence of multiple emperors ensured that leadership was distributed. It also provided a clear succession plan, as the Caesars were expected to eventually succeed their senior counterparts. Although the Tetrarchy initially succeeded in reducing internal conflict and managing external threats, the system ultimately failed to endure, primarily due to the ambitions and rivalries of the emperors involved. Diocletian's reign was marked by significant reforms aimed at strengthening the empire's administration and military. He reorganized the provinces, increasing their number and creating smaller, more manageable units to improve efficiency in governance. The empire was divided into 12 dioceses, each overseen by a vicar, and further subdivided into provinces. This decentralization made local administration more effective and reduced the power of regional governors, who had often been a source of instability in the past. Diocletian also reformed the military by increasing the number of soldiers and fortifying the empire's borders. The Roman army was reorganized into mobile field units and frontier defense units, ensuring better protection against both internal rebellions and external invasions. Diocletian expanded the imperial army significantly, allowing Rome to respond quickly to threats from the Persians in the east and the barbarian tribes in the north. To finance these military expansions and other administrative needs, Diocletian introduced new tax policies. He created a more systematic and regular tax system which aimed to stabilize the empire's finances. These reforms included a census to determine the wealth of provinces and individuals, and the imposition of taxes in kind, which were often paid in produce or goods. While these measures helped stabilize the economy, they were not universally popular and were a heavy burden on many segments of the population. One of the most controversial aspects of Diocletian's reign was his persecution of Christians. Although Christianity had already spread throughout the empire by the time Diocletian became emperor, it remained a relatively small and often persecuted minority. Diocletian was a traditionalist who believed that the survival of the empire depended on the preservation of traditional Roman religious practices and the veneration of the emperor as a divine figure. As such, he saw Christianity, which rejected the Roman gods and the imperial cult, as a threat to the stability of the empire. In 303 CE, Diocletian and his co-emperor Maximian initiated the most severe and systematic persecution of Christians in Roman history. This included the destruction of Christian scriptures, the demolition of churches, and the execution of Christian leaders. Christians were also banned from holding public office, and many were forced to offer sacrifices to the Roman gods under threat of death. Despite these efforts, the persecution ultimately failed to eradicate Christianity, and in fact it helped to solidify the Christian community's resolve. In 305 CE, after more than 2 decades of rule, Diocletian unexpectedly abdicated the throne, along with Maximian. The decision to step down was remarkable, as it was unprecedented for a Roman emperor to voluntarily relinquish power. Diocletian's abdication was part of his belief in the Tetrarchy, which was designed to ensure that the empire would continue to function smoothly with clear succession. After his abdication, Diocletian retired to his palace in Split, modern-day Croatia, where he spent the remainder of his life. Diocletian's abdication, however, led to the eventual collapse of the Tetrarchy. The system failed to provide a stable succession plan, and infighting between the various emperors and their heirs quickly destabilized the empire. Despite the eventual disintegration of the Tetrarchy, Diocletian's reforms had a lasting impact on the Roman Empire. His restructuring of the military and administrative systems allowed the empire to survive for another century, and his efforts to stabilize the empire helped to secure its position in the face of external threats. The empire, though eventually divided and weakened, continued to thrive in various forms until the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 CE. Diocletian died around 311 CE after retiring from public life. He remains a highly significant and controversial figure in Roman history, remembered for both his authoritarian rule and his role in shaping the empire's late structure. His reign marked a turning point in the history of the Roman Empire, ushering in a new era of administrative and military organization, but also one of religious tension that would shape the future of the empire for centuries to come.